Hello, my name is Shannon Motzko.
My name is Gavin Motzko.
Back in 2010, Gavin was born in 2009, and then had some problems as a child, breathing, feeding, sleeping, and was misdiagnosed a couple of times. Ended up coming down to Mayo Clinic to have some more thorough testing done, and found out he had dilated cardiomyopathy and was in desperate need of a heart transplant. So we went back home, and in April of 2010, we had to come down on Easter of all days because he had gotten so sick. And we checked in, waited, and fast forward 5 days, April 9th, he had a heart available and the transplant happened, and our journey with the Gift of Life Transplant House began shortly after, and it was a great place to be because as being a transplant family, you need to be, in a clean environment, and it helps being surrounded by people that have, the same life struggles that are going on, and it made acclimating to the new way of life a lot easier to be around and see how the new life was going to partake. And yeah, let's see, it was 3 months I think we stayed down here, and we fast forward 16 years later, and he's a grown man, and we love every minute of it. He did get really sick, and he was, I think it was a B, and then up to a level A, which broadened. It was like a 500-mile radius, and then it went to a nationwide search just because of the urgency of the need. And we don't know exactly where or whom it came from, but there was a child that had lost their life, and they gave the selfless gift of procuring all of the organs to help others. And yeah, so the team from Mayo flew out to the East Coast, did their, thorough looking of if it's going to work. They gave us a call. We made the trip, and yeah, was it maybe seven or 8 hours later, they were in operating from them leaving the East Coast, flying back to Rochester. And it was a trying time. There's a lot of ups and downs, and you don't know what's going on, what's going to happen. I mean, especially with it being a baby, right? Not even 1 year old, having to go through this. It kind of threw parenting into a whole different spin, trying to acclimate life with a new normal, which was kind of difficult, raising a kid with immunocompromised. You got to take all the colds, the coughs, the sneezes, the sniffles with a lot more urgency. It was a whirlwind. It was just so many ups and downs, and you kind of take a second thought of, how are we going to let this kid be a kid? It's a whole different experience. But yeah, I think the pediatric house at the end of the day is going to be a huge benefit for obviously the unfortunate circumstances that are a transplant, but having a place like this makes it much more enjoyable.
Wow.
And then we do all of our toys and books. We have, again, all of that's the original woodworking. So
Built in, that is so nice.
yeah, cabinets for dry food, bunch of supplies.
This is going to be a huge benefit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty remarkable. How bright and airy is that?
Right. I love it.
And this is going to be a much better situation. Again, you were young enough where we didn't need to have. But yeah, for families who have, whether one and a sibling, yeah, this is going to be an enormous
game-changing
impact. Yeah.
So I'm a junior in high school now, 16 years of age. Obviously academics is a big thing. Staying on track with that, keeping the grades up. And then gotten into photography. I'm an amateur photographer. So getting into sports photography, portrait photography, nature photography, car photography. Gotten into my faith a lot more. God, that's been a big thing for me. Just being able to grow from that and realize that I don't need to be here, right? I'm here, and we know from these experiences, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, I still got a chance, I can still make a difference.
yeah, like initially it is just such a shock. And, you know, it was obviously doctoring multiple times a day. And then it was, you know, every other day. Then it was every 3 days. And then fast forward 3 months, then we leave the transplant house, head back home. And then we drive down, you know, once a week, once every 2 weeks. And now we're to a point where we come down twice a year. So, I mean, yes, acclimating yourself to the new way of life, going through a transplant and all the doctoring, I mean, it's a lot to do. And with a kid, first kid as well, I mean, you talk about, you know, going through the ringer. Not to say that it's easier on adults, but like you had said as well, Gavin, you know, they've already been through life and have seen and kind of maybe have it figured out, but it's still scary because it's a whole new way to live after you go through an event such as a organ transplant. And yeah, having a place like this, be it pediatric, be it the original house or the new house as well. I don't know that Mr. Pompane would know what has came from what he had started. I mean, I would love to think that if he could see where the transplant house is now, and with the pediatric thing, yeah, it almost brings tears, right? Thinking about how big it is. You know, life is big, but something like this, yeah, it makes it bigger. You know, once you're in a community like this, it's nice to come back and check out and stay and make sure that, you know, you don't forget about it, because as Gavin and I both know, we make it a point to stop every time we're down, whether it's to, you know, drop off food, drop off Pop Tops, just stop in and say hi. So it's nice. It's a place that we will always remember, and always make it a point to stop, visit, say hi, and make sure we iterate how good it is.
Yeah.